welcome to The Explainer. I am so pumped to be stepping into our virtual sports news studio today, surrounded by all this neon blue and gold, because we are gearing up for the absolute ultimate schedule breakdown. If you're a football fan, you know the drill. The build-up to the world's biggest tournament, it's just packed with anticipation, intense strategy, and, a whole lot of calendar marking. Today we're unpacking the official, comprehensive group stage fixtures for the FIFA World Cup 2026. So get ready, because we're bringing that high energy to the sports desk as we literally analyze every single kickoff. Just look at that number, 72. I wanted to drop this staggering figure right out of the gate to emphasize the absolute massive scale of this group stage. We aren't just talking about a handful of games here. Oh wait, we're talking about 72 individual grueling battles on the pitch before we even sniff the knockout rounds. The logistics, the stamina required, the sheer volume of elite football, it's honestly unprecedented. Okay, let's dive into this, because what those 72 matches actually translate to is precisely this: 17 days of non-stop football action. It is a massive gauntlet of fixtures, but hey, don't worry, we're going to tackle it together. We'll break down the absolutely crucial matchups and tell you exactly when you need to be glued to your screens. To make this massive schedule a bit more digestible, here's our broadcast rundown. First, we'll hit the opening day's matchups. Second, we'll grind through the mid-tournament schedule. And finally, we'll analyze the final group stage. Alright, let's kick things off with part 1, the opening day's matchups, running from June 12th to June 16th, the opening kickoff. The energy is always just electric in these first few days. And honestly, this is exactly where the entire tone of the tournament is set. Every single team is hunting for that vital first win to just establish dominance right away in their group. We literally burst out of the gate on June 12th with South Africa and Mexico, but hey, keep an eye on match 2, where South Korea takes on the uniquely listed Czechia. And just as a heads up, we're bringing you these names exactly as they appear in the official source data, so no typos here. By the 13th, the USA and Canada have already joined the fray. It's fast, it's furious, and we are officially underway. Moving on to June 14th, and man, this day brings us some real gems. Right in the middle of the pack, we've got a highly anticipated clash, Brazil versus Morocco. That is just must-watch television. We're also seeing some really unexpected challengers stepping onto the world stage today. We've got Hawaii taking on Scotland, and Curacao facing off against Germany late in the evening. The momentum is just relentless right through the 15th and 16th. We've got global heavyweights like Belgium and Uruguay in action, but look closely at match 13 on the 15th. Spain, listed here as Espan, goes up against Cape Verde. Yes, you are reading that official source data correctly. It is a uniquely global and sometimes surprising roster, to say the least. So that brings us to part 2, the mid-tournament schedule, June 17th to June 22nd, the grind. At this point, the opening day jitters gone. Teams are now fighting tooth and nail for their tournament lives to punch that golden ticket to the knockout stages. Look at June 17th. It is an absolute gauntlet. You have major global powers taking the pitch back to back. France kicks things off in the early hours, and by 7 a.m., football giants Argentina take on Algeria. It's an absolute marathon of top-tier strategy right there. And this brilliantly illustrates how the caliber of play in this middle stretch is just punishing. Case in point, match 22. We're talking about a massive, heavy-hitting clash between England and Croatia right at 2 a.m. on the 18th. The rest of this block just keeps the heat coming, finally closing out on the 19th with Mexico versus South Africa. Okay, stay with me here, because we are crossing the tournament's halfway mark with an absolutely massive 9-match block spanning June 20th and 21st. From the USA going up against Australia, to a late-night showdown between the Netherlands and Sweden, to Germany facing Ivory Coast, the endurance required by the teams and honestly by the fans is just incredible right now. We officially wrap up this mid-tournament grind on June 22nd. You've got Belgium, Uruguay, New Zealand, and Argentina all making their final mid-stage pushes. Honestly, if a team hasn't found their rhythm by match 42, their hopes are on seriously thin ice. Which leads us perfectly into part 3, the final group stage, June 23rd to June 28th, the final push. The stakes here, they simply could not be higher. This is the exact moment where World Cup dreams are either spectacularly realized or utterly crushed. starting the deciders on the 23rd and 24th. And remember, we are presenting these matches exactly as listed in the official source data. That means watching France and England secure their spots, while also keeping an eye out for unique source listings like for Portugal playing Uzbekistan and Colombia facing DR Congo. Then, June 25th significantly dials up the drama. To prevent match fixing in the final group games, you can see simultaneous matchups happening. Switzerland and Canada play at the exact same time as Bosnia and Qatar. Later, Morocco and Brazil's groups do the exact same thing. It is absolute peak sports broadcasting tension. You're definitely going to need 2 screens for this. June 26 continues this chaotic, overlapping trend as even more groups simultaneously close out their action. Ivory Coast and Germany's groups kick off together in the early hours, and that's followed by a doubleheader at 5 a.m. featuring the Netherlands and Japan fighting for their final placement. And now, we've reached the penultimate day. The tension is basically palpable. We have 3 sets of dual matchups on the 27th, including Spain, listed here as a spawn, taking on Uruguay, and a massive 9 a.m. overlap to close out the day. And here we are, June 28th, the final day. The schedule wraps up with 3 final simultaneous blocks. At 5:30 a.m., we have a true mystery on our hands. Match 70 currently lists a literal blank opponent taking on DR Congo in the source data. I guess we'll find out who survives the gauntlet to fill that spot. Finally, Jordan and Argentina play the 72nd and final match, bringing the entire group stage to a definitive close. So what does this all mean? The crucial point is this: we have just broken down all 72 staggering matches of the FIFA World Cup 2026 group stage. It is a grueling, magnificent schedule.